What up, though, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean. I am your host, Uncle Sean. I hope everybody's doing well. This evening, we're going to chop up a little good game here this evening. The first thing I want to do, and I want to make a point of doing this on a regular basis, I want to hit you with some black facts here. A brother by the name of Matthew A. Cherry invented the tricycle in 1886. A brother by the name of Matthew A. Cherry invented the tricycle in 1886. You know, a lot of times these brothers' names go into obscurity. We don't know their names. We know some of uh, some of the larger, more well-known people like George Washington Carver and Garrett Morris. So allow me to, enlighten you about some of these other brothers that invented a lot of things that we use on a daily basis. And this has been a little lesson from your Uncle Sean. Today on the podcast, I want to talk about something that is, I guess, relevant to things that are going on out here in the streets, whatever. And I want to talk about how I grew up here in Detroit. Grew up in the 70s, northwest side of Detroit, um, 7 Mile, Wyoming, Curtis, Myers. Those were my area that I lived in. That I guess that would be what, 1 square mile of the neighborhood that I lived in. And from 7 Mile to Curtis, when I was growing up, most of the businesses were black. And I knew most of the owners of the businesses. From 7 Mile, there was a Wrigley's Drugs right there on the corner of 7 Mile in Wyoming, owned by black people. Across the street from there, there was a Amico gas station. At one time, it was owned by black people. Uh, on the other side of the other side of Washburn, there was a Cleaners that was owned by black people, and next to the Cleaners was a beauty salon owned by black people. And then when you start walking down Wyoming toward Curtis, you had a record store owned by black people. You had a banquet hall owned by black people. You had another Cleaners. I'm not sure if that one was owned by black people. And then you had the deli that was right there on the corner of Wyoming and Pickford, which is still there, Deli Plaza, owned by black people. Then you had right across the street from that was Mr. Kimball's store, mean asshole black man. Then next to his store was an ice 31 flavors that was owned by a black couple. And then next to that was Mr. Webster's store. And all the way down the street, I mean, it was mostly black businesses. And then at some point in the early 80s, some of these business owners, they sold out. Some of them got sick and passed away. Some of them, Mr. Kimball got shot in his front yard, but he lived, but he never came back to the store. And the Arabs came in. Uh, Being more specific, the Chaldeans. And these people came in and started buying up these stores and stuff. And it was different from what it used to be, where I could go to the store with a note and money wrapped up in the note, give it to Mr. Webster. He would play my father's numbers and give me a pack of cool cigarettes, give me my change back, and I would take it home to my father. In almost any store on the strip, I could do that and have done it. When the Arabs moved in, when those Chaldeans, I don't even want to call, I'm going to call them Chaldeans. They came in, and these people were very disrespectful. These people, they talk down to you. They treated you mean. And they got into it a lot with people. And at least not in my neighborhood, none of them never hurt nobody. And I don't believe nobody never hurt them, but it came close several times that I saw with my own eyes. And I used to wonder, because I thought, now see, as being a kid, in my, late, early teens, and I thought that when these Chaldeans came over, you know what I thought? I thought they had oil money. I swear I did. I was like, how they getting all these stores and everything? They must got oil money. And that's what I thought all the way up until I was good and grown. And I moved in a apartment complex in proximity to some of these people. And I got to know some of them. And me, being an investigative reporter that I am, I got them to tell me things. And I found out that these motherfuckers was gaming the system. Yep. They was gaming the system. They was getting everything that you traditionally, that people try to put on us: food stamps, WIC, welfare check, Medicaid, Medicare, whatever, free healthcare, everything. And how they were really gaming the system was, a lot of these suckers had 3 and 4 wives. So they would have each, and you can't legally in America be married to more than one woman. But these guys would have 3, 4, 5 wives. And each one of these broads would have her own crib. And each one of these broads would have her own set of kids and get her own set of welfare benefits. Meanwhile, these people would get fresh credentials. So they come over here, no matter what they've done in their country, no matter how they've screwed up, whatever. They come over here, their name is clear. So now here you are, in your early 30s, you got 4 or 5 wives living in different houses. You done came up. And then your name is clean. And then you get all these refugee benefits, loans. You don't have to pay taxes for 7 years. These suckers, let me tell you what they was doing. They would buy a store in the black neighborhood and basically run roughshod, be mean. They not hiring nobody. If they do, it's a female that they want to fuck. And they talk down and mean to the kids that come in, and they insult the adults that come in, except the ones they know not to fuck with. And then after they keep the store for 7 years or 7 or 10 years or whatever it is, then what they do is they pass it to one of their relatives so that they don't have to pay no taxes. And they keep doing this shit over and over and over till they get ready to burn the motherfucker down for the insurance money when they get ready to go back to where they came from. Or they're going to move somewhere else and run some more scams. And that's how it goes with a lot of these immigrant groups that come up in here talking mess about us, talking about what we ain't doing and you ain't that, or whatever. They won't allow us to do no shit like that. And here I was as a dumb kid thinking these suckers was coming over here. Oh, they over there in Iraq and they got oil money. That's what I thought. Hell no. These motherfuckers was getting welfare the whole time. Game in the system. And you go to Walmart or your local supermarket and you will see one of them crusty foot motherfuckers walking with 5 or 6 bitches with their face covered up and shit. Usually you didn't seen it if you live, especially if you live here in Michigan. And these motherfuckers, let me tell you, the bullshit that they do. All right, let's say Walmart got 2-liter Cokes on sale for $1. These motherfuckers go to Walmart and buy all the goddamn Cokes. And they pay $1. They have their whole goddamn family come in there and they clean the shelves off. And wait for them to restock and clean them off again. Then they take that same motherfucking Coke back to your neighborhood and sell that motherfucker for $3.50. These motherfuckers will go to Home Depot. Home Depot put the charcoal on sale every holiday. It's usually 2 bags for whatever it is. Let's say it's 2 bags for $10.99. And then to have on the bags, do not just separate. It's 2 bags to go to this. And these motherfuckers will go to Home Depot, them and they tribe, they harem, go down there and buy all the goddamn charcoal and take it back to their hood store and break it apart and sell each bag for $10.99 or more. Scam artists. They the ones started selling Lucy's, the loose cigarettes out the pack, which is illegal. All the scams are started by these people that come in here. And then they have the nerve to talk shit to us and try to talk down. We should have been putting foot to ass. Well, some of us have, because I ain't never took no bullshit off none of them motherfuckers. And I know quite a few other brothers that ain't take that bullshit. They knew better. But yeah, that's how they do it. And that's how, and now you looking at these Somalians, and I don't know no Somalians, but it looked just like the Arab shit. The Chaldean, damn, I keep saying the Arab, because they different. The Chaldeans and the Arabs are different. But that Somali shit that's going on, that shit look just like them Chaldeans. And see, them Chaldeans, them is motherfuckers that had to flee from out of Iraq. Because those are yeah, they had to flee. Those are the ones that flee. And they flee here, and they get all these benefits, and they game the system because they got 6, 7, 8 wives and 64 kids, and they get maximum benefits, and then sit up there with them flip flops on and them gray ass feet talking shit about what you black people ain't doing and all of this, trying to talk shit. I remember these Chaldeans bought the store. It actually, they built the store, actually, right on the corner of Curtis and Wyoming. Big orange store. It used to be orange back in the day. And it was a nice size store. So I would go in there and buy my little chips and pops or whatever. I'm like 13 years old. I actually 13 or 14, and I had a job at that age. I had a job working for my uncle. And I would go in there, and there was this Chaldean girl that worked behind the counter. One of them motherfuckers' sister. And I would go in there, and this girl was around, she was probably about 16, a little older than me. And she took a liking to me. And I would come in there, and that girl would flirt with me, and, you know, we would flirt back and forth or whatever. And her brother would say something in their language, and they would go back and forth, and I would leave. And then one day I came in there, and she was owning me hard this day. She was just, you know, she probably was doing it just to piss his ass off. I don't know. But he come in, he starts telling me, she's not for you. She's not for you. I said, what the fuck is you talking about? He's like, you on dope. And he starts telling me and her that I'm on dope. I shoot up. I'm doing heroin. And I'm like, motherfucker, is you crazy? And I remember I stopped going in there for a while. And then one day, I was in the car with my mother, and she pulled up at the store and was like, go in there and get me a bag of Better Made chips and a Faygo. And I'm like, oh man, I gotta go in here. I really didn't want to go in there because I was really pissed off at that dude for saying that to me. And they had the bulletproof glass, and I probably couldn't have whooped him anyway. He was a grown man. But knowing me, I was gonna try to fight him. So I go in there, and I go in the store, and when I get in the store, this dude is arguing with these two guys that's in suits. These two younger black, like in their mid-20s look like, but they got on like silk suits. So I go and gather the items that my mother told me to get. I go up to the counter, and these dudes is having a knockdown, drag out argument with this Chaldean, this old smart mouth motherfucker that said that shit to me because his sister wanted to get at me. And they going back and forth, and my man, it was two of them. One of them was wearing a green, I'll never forget, he was wearing a green, this nigga was sharp. He was wearing a green silk suit and had on like some gator loafers. Nigga was sharp. And his homeboy was a big nigga with like a brown suit on, and he had a briefcase. And they arguing, and my man was like, fuck that, come from behind there and talk that shit. You know, and the dude, he ain't finna come from behind there. So the big dude, he knock on that shit. He was like, you show this shit bulletproof? You show it's bulletproof? And that motherfucker unclicked that briefcase, and the top flew open, and the dude in the green was like, hey, little dude, go on and just take that and go on. Just go. And I was like, I ain't paid for it. He's like, go on. I got you. I'll pay for it. And I walked out, and I got in the car, and me and my mother pulled off. I don't know what happened. I don't know nothing. But that's the way they would act towards the people in the neighborhood. Talk shit, piss you off, make you want to do something to them. Now, why would you come to somebody else's neighborhood, somebody else's country, and talk like that? Because you was put up to it. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. All these people have been put up to going against us. And now they all getting foot to their ass. And we sitting back chilling. We sitting back, we ain't worried. Because everything that they going through and fixing to go through, including the folks, we ain't already been through it. Every last bit of it. Ain't nothing else they can do to us. We've lost jobs. We've been beat up, sprayed with mace, sicked on dogs, water cannons, robot kill you, bombed. All of it. Diseased. Everything. We ain't scared. Are you? Oh well, scared, go to church. Truth hurts. You know?
Very well.
Now, the next thing I want to talk about is something a little more controversial. And that is, I want to ask this question. Do you think that men should be allowed to opt out of an unwanted pregnancy? I'm going to ask the question again because I don't think y'all heard me. Do you think that men should be able to opt out of an unwanted pregnancy?
What?
I'm just asking. When you think about it, okay, let me give you a scenario. Okay, a guy meets a female at a nightclub. Out. He goes out one night. She's there. He meets her. They lock eyes. He walks over. He starts talking to her. They talk. They have a drink. They dance a couple times. They leave the club together. They go to a hotel. They get it in. And that's that. There's no relationship. There's no plans to get back together. Nothing. It was what it was. Now, they exchanged numbers because they did that early in the evening. But he ain't never called her, and she ain't never called him. Then, 4 months later, he gets a call. He don't even know who it is because he erased her number. And he answers the phone and it's her. And she explains who she is. Oh, he like, yeah. I remember you. What's up? And she tells him, well, I'm pregnant. What? You know? And I believe it's yours and I'm keeping it. Well, no. I don't even know your last name. I don't want to know you. I moved on. I don't want to, at this scenario, before the baby even comes, they don't know each other. He's only even seen her once, and that was a one night stand. And now, whether he was dumb enough to go raw, or if he used protection and it failed, she's saying that it's his and she's going to have it. Now, the first thing is it may not be his because it wasn't like she was being stingy with that cooch. Okay, but let's just, for the sake of the argument, say it is. It's his. Should he be able to say, you know what? I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with the child. I don't want nothing to do with it. So should he be able to maybe pay maybe half of her hospital bill and maybe a application fee and sign some papers saying, okay, he has no responsibility towards this child or whatever. He is should a man who does not want to have a baby with a woman, should he be able to opt out? Now, I can hear a lot of women be like, hell no, he shouldn't be able to opt out. But wait a minute, hold up. For years, you've been able to go down to the hit house and put a hit out on a fetus if you wanted to. Whether he wanted you to or not. Right? Right. So, when the shoe is on the other foot, where the man would have the opportunity to say, well, you know what? I don't want to have a baby. I'm going to sign the paper and absolve myself of any responsibility short medical bill and the application fee. How many women would choose to have the child then? How many women would even get pregnant then on by accident? By accident. And the reason why I say by accident with the quotation marks is because, and I've always believed this ever since I think I was 25 years old. And I went out with this older lady. She was 28. And she didn't have any children. And she was one of the few women in her age bracket that I knew that didn't have any children. And I asked her, I was like, why don't you have any children? And she said, because I don't want any children. She's like, no woman has a child unless she wants to. She's like, a woman doesn't even get pregnant unless she wants to. And okay, I do know that miracles can happen and slip ups can happen, but for the most part, I believed her. And I'm just asking the question because I'm not, I'm far past the age of, you know, I only mess with menopausal women. I don't, nobody's fertile around me. So, but I'm just saying, if that was something that came up on the ballot, that would be interesting because man, it's you already got states where they're having mandatory DNA testing like as soon as the baby is born or whatever, and that right there is probably going to be the death of a lot of marriages and relationships, because it's some sneaky women out here, you know, and when you do stuff like that, you kind of disallow the sneak. And if a man can say, you know what, I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? We hooked up once or twice, and I don't even like you. I just wanted some sex. I don't want to have a child with you. So I'm gonna sign them papers. If men could do that, what would be the outcome? Would there be as many single mothers as there are now? Would women actually start being a little more careful about, number one, Cause listen, I think I women like if you don't want to have a baby, at the very least, why don't you just make a man wear rubber? What's a man gonna say if he say you look okay you can have some pussy, but you got to put a rubber on? What are you gonna say? I ain't wearing no rubber. Well then you don't get no pussy. I think most men are gonna go ahead and strap up because why wouldn't he? See, anyway. Let me move on from there. But yeah, what would be the outcome if men had the opportunity to opt out? How would that affect uh childbirth? It would be interesting in the black community to see. Uh, Man, I could just see a lot of mad women out there, like because man. Anyway, this has been another edition of Chopping It Up with Uncle Sean, the podcast. This show was written, produced, directed, performed, and arranged by Uncle Sean. And I'd like to thank y'all. And if I entertained you a little bit, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Peace.